it might be true that Denver is just too good for Miami right now. They're just too good for anybody. That Jokic is just too good for anybody. It could be true. The only problem is that Miami they're a bunch of sickos over there, man. Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, Udonis Haslem, I mean Kyle Lowry, all those guys. Like they got some sickos over there. I think they saw more than enough to look forward to another opportunity in game 2. We can expect Miami to just play better in game 2, to shoot better, to carry over that confidence. That's the thing about Miami. That's the word that I think you really have to drive home for Miami is confidence. They remind me so much of, I've been saying this for a while, the Miami Heat culture and the way they play basketball, their system and their culture, it reminds me so much of Villanova. I feel like they are the NBA Villanova. When it comes to guard play, the dribble penetration emphasis and the emphasis on shooting the ball when you have space. If you've ever heard about Jay Wright, obviously he's not at Villanova anymore, but the culture that he has established there with that program and the way that they play when they've won national championships and those great teams they've had, they shoot the ball. He believes in when you have space, when you create a good shot, if it's a good shot, let that thing go. Shoot the ball. It's a confidence driver. And you definitely see that with Miami. It's why you see guys like Gabe Vincent and Haywood Highsmith coming in off the bench and getting 18 points, knocking down threes. Caleb Martin having a big series for them in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's why you see these undrafted guys play well, because it's the system and it's the confidence. It reminds me so much of Villanova, and it's why you can't count them out, because they stay disciplined, they stay structured, and they stay confident. So they're gonna run their stuff. Their best player in Jimmy Butler is not this. He's not a Durant. He's not a Luka. He's not one of these guys that's just gonna go straight one-on-one, side to side, and just start killing you with just shot creation. He can get himself going in his own way, but he's perfect for the system as their best player because he's gonna run stuff too. He's not like killing you with creativity and shot creation and all that. He can get into his bag in his own way, but he's the perfect best player for their system. I do think Miami's going to play much better in game 2. They only lost this game by 11, even though Denver was clearly dominating from the beginning. Aaron Gordon, they went right at the smaller guys. I'm sure Spoelstra will have some adjustments there. I was kind of surprised to not see Kevin Love. I'm wondering if Kevin Love might see some more minutes. Miami can't go but so big. Cody Zeller was out there, an extra body, out there for Jokic, I'm sure. But going big isn't really their bigger lineups. Miami aren't really what they do. Like they're really at their best, I think, when they're smaller and quicker. As easy as it can look out there for Jokic and Denver, I feel like I think Miami saw some things. Even when they went zone and they got beat like many times, there were a few possessions I saw in the second half where the ball went to the middle. Miami matched pretty quickly and pretty well. That's where I think their quickness can kind of help them. If Miami messes around, if those sickos mess around and really, it's not about figuring out Denver, but if you can just get a feel for their cadence, those like banana cuts that they'll run Jokic off over the top and just different looks that if you can really like hone in on those, if you're Miami, you can use your quickness to your advantage. That's one of the things I was looking for to see, just if their quickness would bother Denver at all, but it was definitely about Denver's size, especially right from the beginning. If Denver is just too good, we'll definitely see in game 2. I think we'll definitely see in game 2 because Denver could have played better. Jokic only took 12 shots. He makes basketball easy. That's That's just his gift. And Jamal Murray really got off more. He took 22 shots. He got 26 and 10. I think that's the thing too for Miami. Like, you kind of can't let Jamal Murray get off. I think having him that loose and getting, I mean, he's been great all playoffs. Like, great for Jamal Murray, yo. When he's healthy, like he's really making a statement right now. The Denver Nuggets are just as much about Jamal Murray as they are about Jokic. Like him getting loose makes them so much more dangerous. Like he shoots it. He's doing stuff off the bounce, floaters, finishing off different feet. He's really hard to stop, especially with Jokic as his main screener and handoff man. Like with that big body just being there and then having the touch and the feel to know like, okay, here, no, I'll wait and then go it over, come back, stop, reset. Like he's constantly knowing what the right decision is to make. So the two of them, Jokic and Murray, it's crazy their abilities together. I just love the fact that Denver and Jokic are putting passing and unselfishness on display. Like, you have to be able to pass and you have to be able to know how to play with a player that knows how to pass. Let me say that again. You have to know how to pass and you have to know how to play with a player that really knows how to pass. I feel like Jokic, I mean, I know other people see it. I've heard the people on TV talking about it. I mean, he's really just, when I say he makes basketball easy, he's making them better basketball players. I don't know if KCP and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray have said that themselves, and Bruce Brown. And I don't know if they've actually said that in any interviews or anything, but I would bet that they would themselves say like they're better players playing with him. Aaron Gordon got 10 points in the first quarter. I don't know how many of those were assisted directly from Jokic, but there were at least a few. I can recall at least a couple of those were from Jokic. A couple of them were post-ups where he would post up Gabe Vincent, but he got a couple of duck-ins off those actions, and Jokic makes the pass. It's like the fact that he knows when you're going to be open and where. I mean, you have to be ready to shoot. You have to be looking for the ball. He will create offense for you effortlessly, just naturally with his passing. And that's really cool to see because they're not doing anything crazy, the Denver Nuggets. They're just passing the basketball well and cutting well and attacking well and playing good basketball. So for Miami, I mean, they shot 3 free throws the whole game. That's like a finals record. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I just feel like Miami is going to be way more aggressive and alert and jumping things in game 2. I think they're still really, they're always confident. That's the theme with them. But I think they're going to come into game 2 really confident. If this is just what it is, Denver is going to win game 2, and then they'll go into Miami and probably win game 3. If they're just that good, if they're that much better than Miami, we're gonna find out on Sunday night. I think just because I think Miami's going to play a lot better. They're still confident. I think they're going to come back with a much better effort. Strus and Duncan Robinson won't combine for 1 for 14 from 3. They're 2 best 3-point shooters, right? Bam played well. Gabe Vincent played well. Jimmy had a couple moments late. He's got to be better, obviously, and he most likely will be when they need him to show up. He has shown up for them every time. So, yeah, I think it's fair to assume game 2 is going to be a much better game, and we're going to find out a lot about these two teams and the rest of the series.